Let's get it cracking. This is Dynasty Trade Show episode 22. And from this day moving forward, these shows will be posted under FTN Fantasy's network, podcast network, and under my show In the Lab. So make sure if you're watching this on YouTube and you're accustomed to listening to this on the Destination Devy podcast feed, make sure you subscribe to In the Lab. Go to ftnfantasy.com. You can catch all my shows there, or just search on Apple, Spotify, wherever the hell you listen to your podcast. In the Lab. This will be episode 3 of In the Lab. But y'all know what it is, man. It's your host, Ray GQ. This is Destination Devy. This is In the Lab, FTN Fantasy Dynasty Trade Show episode 22. Let's get it popping, baby. All right. So the first deal we're going to look at, and for those of you who are new to this show, if you're new, it's your first time tapping in, it's your first time watching, these trades are all submitted by patrons of Destination Devy. And when they submit these trades, they have they tell me it's a 12-team league, superflex, single quarterback. Here's my roster. This is the scoring format. But when we talk about these deals, I leave all of that out of the equation, and we just sort of look at it from both sides. If it's single quarterback, if it's super flex, what would I do in certain situations? How do I feel about these deals to try to make it more applicable for the masses, right? Instead of just tightly restricted to that particular league for that particular scoring format, we try to keep it as broad and general as possible. You'll see my partner right here for the time being, Sleeper Wire, is a show sponsor for this segment. Make sure you check out the YouTube description so you can get your tickets to the Sleeper Wire party in Canton, Ohio for the Midwest Fantasy Football Expo. Good people over there at Sleeper Wire. But this first deal that we're going to take a look at, we've got one side of the trade coin receiving Damien Harris and Antonio Gibson. And in return, the other side of the coin got Jerry Jeudy, Brandon Ayuk, Denzel Mims, a 2022 fourth rounder, and a 2023 fourth rounder. So 2 fourth rounders, really don't care about either of those picks at this juncture in Dynasty. So it's Antonio Gibson and Damien Harris versus Jeudy, Ayuk, and Denzel Mims. I think this one definitely, when you're looking at it from a single quarterback or a super flex format, you got to decide: do you want the running backs, or do you build your team through the wide receiver position? I do believe that Jerry Jeudy and Brandon Ayuk are legit wide receivers in Dynasty. I've said on multiple streams, I've got a film breakdown on Jerry Jeudy where I said he's probably, with the quarterback upgrade, Stephon Diggs 2.0 type ceiling. Brandon Ayuk completely enthralled with his talent. And then we know what Antonio Gibson could be, led Washington backfield in rushing last season. It should take a step forward in the receiving department this year in 2021. And then all reports coming out of New England, Damien Harris is the guy, is the lead clear runaway RB1 for that team. Now, is he long for the wear? Is he going to catch the receiving work? I'm not sure. This one for me, love Gibson, big fan of Damien Harris, but I do believe that I would prefer the combination of Jerry Jeudy, Ayuk, Denzel Mims. Again, the 2 picks really mean nothing to me. They're fourth rounders. Maybe you can package that up to move up to the third or the second round with some other shit later down the line. But this side of the deal, single quarterback or super flex, give me Jerry Jeudy and Brandon Ayuk in PPR formats. Half-point PPR gets a little more interesting, and I think you can make the case for Damien Harris or Antonio Gibson. So half-point PPR, Harris, Gibson, full PPR, Jerry Jeudy, Ayuk, Mims in the picks. And we ain't even going to talk about standard because I don't play it, so I'm not even going to talk about that. So let's take a look at, and let me know, comment, I'll get y'all on the screen. Let me know if I'm dead ass wrong or if that's the side of the coin you guys lean on as well. So another trade featuring one Antonio Gibson. We saw Antonio Gibson and Rondale Moore shipped off for Mac Jones, quarterback, New England Patriots, a 2022 first, a 2022 third, and a 2023 first-round pick. So you get the quarterback, 2 first-round picks, and a third-rounder in 2022 for Antonio Gibson and Rondale Moore. in superflex formats, let's start with superflex. Getting a starting quarterback, even if Mac Jones doesn't have the ceiling of an elite guy like a top 10, top 12, I think at worst his ceiling is a top 15 quarterback, so that provides you stability in your QB2 spot. You get a player like Mac Jones, and when we look at trades, when we do these trades and we evaluate these, all picks, we're viewing them as mid to late, right? If they end up being high first rounders, then that's icing on top of the cake. But the way that we have to look at these is they're going to be mid to late round picks. So if you're looking at this and you're saying, a mid 2022 first, a mid 2023 first, Mac Jones for Gibson and Rondale Moore in Superflex, I think 2 firsts for Gibson alone, maybe that gets it done. I think for a lot of people that would get it done to acquire, Antonio Gibson. So the 2 firsts and Antonio Gibson cancel out. Now you have to say, is Mac Jones in a third more than Rondale Moore in Superflex? And I believe the answer to that question is yes. So we always start with who got the best player in the deal. Antonio Gibson is the best player, so I lean that side first. But then when you're getting 2 first-round picks and a future potential starting quarterback, or he's going to start at some point in Mac Jones and Superflex, I think that makes it a lot easier, or I don't even want to say easier, but more palatable to that side of the deal. Single quarterback, I don't know who's making this deal in a single quarterback league. So if it's single quarterback, is the 2 first enough for Gibson and Moore? I'd say probably not. Superflex, give me Mac Jones in the 2 first. Single quarterback, I probably would lean Gibson and Rondale Moore. And Brandon just jumped on the screen for this one, and he said max side Superflex Gibson 1 QB, and that's pretty much where we landed on with that deal. Appreciate you, B, on that one. Now, this trade, I have been an advocate of King Derrick Henry for, it feels like, the past 3 years. Every year people say he's going to fall off. He's reached the running back apex, and all he does is go out there and smash 1,500 yards, 2,000 yards. He's probably going to have another 1,500 yards again this season. He doesn't miss games. He plays every week. He's missed, 3 games in his entire career. He's only had 2 seasons of over 300-plus touches. So in this deal, Derrick Henry, the king, and his presumed backup, Darrington Evans, were shipped off. And in return, they received Raheem Mostert, Marlon Mack, 2 first-round picks in 2023, and a first-round pick in 2022. I love King Derrick Henry, the one of the best running backs in the NFL. He's going to be a consistent scorer. I think he's one of those guys who's just going to age beautifully, and he's going to continue to be a tank for as long as he's playing the running back position. But if I'm getting 3 first-round picks for Derrick Henry, and then, good complementary backs in Raheem Mostert and Marlon Mack that you can throw into a lineup, I'm not saying they're going to be your RB1 or RB2, or you're going to feel great about playing Marlon Mack week in and week out, or Raheem Mostert week in and week out. But to get 3 firsts for Henry and Darrington Evans, sign me up. I love that side of the deal. Doesn't matter if it's single quarterback, half-point PPR, super flex. Give me the 3 first-round picks and those 2 complimentary backs for Derrick Henry. I'd have to say this is probably the highest I've seen Derrick Henry traded for. Like, in my memory or my timeline or the things that have come across my desk, this is the most I've seen Derrick Henry traded for. I think there were actually questions about could you even trade him for 2 firsts, and you're getting 2 prime picks in 2023. If you haven't checked out the ADP for upcoming 2022 and 2023 class here on the YouTube channel, make sure you check that out. But you're talking about a Kayshon Boutte. You're potentially talking about maybe a Jahmyr Gibbs. You've got some stud freshman wide receivers like Jermaine Burton in there. So this is those are prime picks. Sign me up. Give me those picks for Derrick Henry all day, every day. Good stuff. Warren, Peter, good to see y'all in the chat. Here's one where one of my boys, I struggle with this one. Okay, so this trade we saw, and I know it's super flex, so we could look at it from both sides, but I know this is super flex. We saw Kyler Murray, Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz, and Tony Pollard traded for Travis Kelce, Matt Stafford, a 2022 second, a 2023 third, a 2022 seconds, a 2023 second, a 2023 third, and a 2024 first rounder. So one more time, Kyler Murray and a bunch of Dallas Cowboy backups, Jarwin, Schultz, and Pollard, for Travis Kelce, Matt Stafford, a 2022 seconds, a 2023 second, a 2023 third, and a 2024 first rounder. 99.9999% of you, if I asked you who was going to be eligible in 2024, you have no damn idea. You have no clue. But I will give you some insight. You got players like Ajay Hall, JoJo Earl, Brock Vandergriff. Those are players who will be eligible in 2024. Legit class early on. A lot of shit can happen between 2021 and 2024. But trading off Kyler Murray for Kelce and Stafford, at first glance, as I'm looking at this, I'm like, nah, man, I want Kyler. Like, I want Kyler, and then you give me one of the two starting tight ends in Jarwin and Schultz for a high-powered offense. You give me Tony Pollard. Like, that's the side of the deal I want, hands down. But as you're starting to look through this, right, you get two second-round picks in 2022 isn't something to just sneeze at. A second-round pick in 2023 is pretty damn good because that class is going to be epic. You get a third-rounder in 2023 that I promise you'd be able to package up with the 2024 first and move up to possibly the first or second round in 2023. You could package those 2 seconds up in the 2022 year and maybe get in the first round. Travis Kelce, listen, I know he's older. He's not as spry as a Kyle Pitts or a George Kittle or a Darren Waller, but at 31, 32, he's just hitting his tight end stride, man. I mean, I love Pitts, but Kelce's still the Dynasty tight end one, man. It's still Travis freaking Kelce. And Matt Stafford has another 3-4 elite seasons left. I might take the package here. I might. This is trading away Kyler Murray is not something you feel good about. I don't think anybody ever feels good about trading away Kyler Murray. But, man, if you're telling me I'm getting all that draft capital plus Kelce plus Stafford, and in the event this is tight end premium, it makes Kelce even more ready for a win-now team, downgrading from Murray to Stafford and then upgrading anybody that you have at tight end to Travis Kelce could push Raptor 1523 over the top. So as I look at this deal, I think I prefer Travis Kelce, Matt Stafford. I know when I read the comments, people will vehemently, adamantly disagree because of Kyler Murray. But I think when you dive deeper into the numbers that Stafford could put up, probably comparable, if not better than Kyler Murray. The difference is Kyler Murray's got him by 9 years in time. So you're looking at time decay when you're taking a quarterback like Matt Stafford. But win now team, I really like what Raptor 1523 got in this side of the deal. Now, we got Terry McLaurin, Devontae Adams, and DJ Moore in a trade. So this side of the team, Dewbridge received Terry McLaurin, a 2023 first, the 105 in 2021, and the 204 in 2021 for Devontae Adams and DJ Moore. So let's play this scenario out. 105 in Superflex, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trey Lance are off of the board, probably Najee Harris or Jamar Chase. So at 105, I mean, that could easily be Najee, Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, potentially a Justin Fields, right? With the 204, that could be a Rondale Moore, a Rashad Bateman, a Trey Sermon, and a 2023 first for DJ Moore and Devontae Adams. Best player in this deal, Devontae Adams. Second best player in this deal to me, Terry McLaurin, followed by DJ Moore. So I automatically lean the Adams-Moore side. But if you're saying I get Terry McLaurin, Justin Fields, a 2023 first-round pick, and Trey Sermon, I mean, I'm not as concerned about Devontae Adams as a lot of other people. And when I say Devontae Adams, I really mean Aaron Rodgers. Not as concerned about what's going to happen there because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play. Aaron Rodgers is going to play for Green Bay. They're going to figure it out. And Devontae Adams is going to be the wide receiver one in fantasy for this season. But McLaurin with Ryan Fitzpatrick and even Taylor Heineke, if he gets in there to play, we saw that McLaurin could be effective with those guys. DJ Moore, here's my thing. I love DJ Moore. I don't know under this offensive regime, I just don't think DJ Moore has ever become what we want him to be, which is I still think people are valuing him or viewing him as like a top 5 dynasty wide receiver. And I don't think he's that. I think he's fantastic, but I don't believe he's a top 5 guy. Maybe the back end of top 10. For me, win now or, building for the future, I think I'd much rather McLaurin and Justin Fields, McLaurin and Kyle Pitts, McLaurin and Jamar Chase, McLaurin and Najee Harris, plus whoever I'm getting at 204, Trey Sermon, Rashad Bateman, Rondale Moore, in the 2023 first. I think I love this side of the deal. The picks and Terry McLaurin for Devontae Adams and DJ Moore, I think I'm taking that side of the deal, and I feel really, really good about it. And I think this is good for both sides. I think this is one of those trades where it works out well for both sides. But if it were me and my team and how I build my roster, give me McLaurin, give me whoever's at 105 and superflex, and even in single quarterback, right? If it's single quarterback, Chase is gone, Harris is gone, ETN is gone, Williams is probably gone, or Pitts. So then you're looking at a Williams and Pitts. You're looking at a Williams and ETN, a Williams and Devontae Smith. I want that side of the deal opposed to Devontae Adams, DJ Moore. So good trade for both sides, but that's where I lean. All right. Here we go. Little Pitts talk. We got Lamar Jackson and TJ Hawkinson being acquired for Ryan Tannehill and Kyle Pitts. Lamar Jackson, TJ Hawkinson for Ryan Tannehill and Kyle Pitts. Get away from the door, boys. Go. Got to yell at the kids sometimes. Superflex, Lamar Jackson, best player in the deal. Followed by Kyle Pitts, TJ Hawkinson. Man, if it's... this is a good deal. This is a good trade. I think... oh, man. I want some comments. I need some help on this one because I think I lean Tannehill Pitts, but Jackson Hawkinson could be a nice addition. Let me text my wife. All right, so Superflex, Jackson the best quarterback, followed by Tannehill and Pitt. I need help with this one. I think, live stream. This is what happens when you go live stream in the office. I told my wife, come get the damn kids. I'm trying to record. But yes, give me, Warren, help me out. Brandon, help me out on this one. I'm not as high on Hawkinson as a lot of people. I'm not as high. I think Fan is better. I'd rather have Kyle Pitts than TJ Hawkinson. Hawkinson is being propelled and thought of as like, tight end 3 in Dynasty, tight end 4. Maybe. I think I lean Pitts in Superflex. Youth with Jackson and Hawk. Brandon says I lean Tannehill side. Yeah. Oh, man. Do you go young at quarterback? You get the youth with Jackson and Hawkinson. There's no doubt about that, But Tannehill, even if he's three good years left in him, and then you get Kyle Pitts, who could be this dominant, transcendent type tight end. Oh man, yeah, I'd stick with Pitts and trade Tanny for something. Yeah, that's probably where I'm at. I think on this one I would lean Tannehill Pitts, but I definitely see this is let's talk about the strategy here. This is a classic case of downgrading a tier, potentially at a position, and we're talking future, right? Like we think Kyle Pitts can be this good. So if you downgrade from Pitts to Hawkinson, but then upgrade from Tannehill to Jackson long term, because Tannehill is still going to be, I think McDowell posted the tweet a while ago, and 26 career starts for the Titans or 16 starts for the Titans. Tannehill's been a top 10 quarterback 10 times. So, this one is, Tannehill's only 32, plenty of years left. I think I'm on the Tannehill side of this. And if anything, I'm on Tannehill Pitts on this one. Tannehill Pitts over Lamar Jackson and TJ Hawkinson. It's interesting to hear what y'all think about this one, especially YouTube. You know, they are ruthless. They will let you have it. This one, to me, simple, clean, and love it. Aaron Rodgers was acquired for 2022 second-round picks. Rodgers is going to play this season, and he's probably going to play another couple of seasons. You do this in superflex, it's buy the rumor, sell the news. That's stock market lingo, right? People think that Rodgers is going to hold out. He's not going to be there. He's not going to play. So they're dumping him. And if I'm a win now team in superflex, if all it takes is 2 second-round picks in order to acquire Aaron Rodgers, I'm doing that, and I'm taking that. I'm taking those yards. I'm taking those touchdowns to the goddamn bank, man. So some commentary from that last deal. Hawk does have Goff. Yeah, I'd like to see what he does in 2021. Could be a nice sell high if A.J. Brown and Julio are hitting. Yeah, that's back to the Tannehill trade. But this one, simple, clean, love it. You get Aaron Rodgers for 2 second-round picks. Money. Lock it up. Let's talk about Saquon Barkley. Saquads. This was a big deal. We have Mike Evans, Marquise Brown, a 2023 first, a 2022 second, and Saquon Barkley being acquired. One more time. Saquon, 2023 first, Mike Evans, Hollywood Brown, and a 2022 second for Jared Goff, DJ Moore, and Jonathan Taylor. I mean, to me, this is theft. Whoever Kyler Rob 4 is, where's my sound effects? I gotta do legitimate sound effects here because you need an applause. We're gonna go air horn. We're doing it all because this is a home run. If you want to say JT and Saquon, let's just say they cancel each other out. Now you're talking about 2023 first, Mike Evans, Marquise Brown, a 2022 second for Jared Goff and DJ Moore. Top. This is slam dunk. I want Evans, Barkley, Brown, first round pick in 2023. I don't care if it was the 112 in 2023 and a 2022 second. If that's the going rate for a Taylor DJ Moore package, I got to send out some trade offers today. I mean, this is home run side. Kyler, K-Y-L-E-R. I think it's Kyle Robb for hell of a job, man. This is a great trade for you. Love it. And way to package that up and get that done. And I'm assuming that's another. I just think people are buying DJ Moore at 3 ATR, like way higher than I'm willing to pay. Give me Evans, Barkley, Hollywood, the picks, man. That great deal. Air horn, applause, good shit. All right. D Swift, the selling of DeAndre Swift continues for another week. He has been a staple in every trade show for the past 3 weeks, right? So we got DeAndre Swift and J.K. Dobbins, 2 of the top running backs of 2020 running back class, NFL draft class, being acquired for, all right, 2 first-round picks in 2023, Rondale Moore and Courtland Sutton. I love, let me get that straight. I love the 2023 class. Love it. I love Rondale. I'm a big fan of Courtland Sutton. But to get Swift and Dobbins, like essentially, Swift for a 2023 first and Rondale Moore, Dobbins for a 2023 first and Courtland Sutton. I think this deal, I want Swift and Dobbins. I think I want Swift and Dobbins. You're hoping, as talented as 2023 is, you're hoping a Kendall Milton, a Zach Evans, DeMonte Trainium. You're hoping those guys, a Jalen Berger, become what Swift and Dobbins have already shown flashes that they could be right now in the NFL. We've seen Dobbins over 800 yards as a rookie sharing a backfield with Mark Ingram, Lamar Jackson, and Gus Edwards. We saw DeAndre Swift with, split opportunity share, working in with Adrian Peterson and Kerryon Johnson and all these other random-ass backs Detroit had. We saw what he can do reception-wise and between the tackles. You want those two guys. Those are two cornerstone. In my cornerstone rankings, those are two highly ranked cornerstone players for what we hope those 2023 first will become. And then Rondale Moore still figuring out his role. And even best case scenario, Rondale Moore is the wide receiver 2 on that team behind Nuke Hopkins. He's the wide receiver 2. Cortland Sutton, 1A, 1B to Jerry Jeudy with no quarterback. Give me D Swift and Dobbins, man. This looks like, oh my God, he paid a lot, but this is smart. And here's the thing. Only the degenerate of degenerates are really diving deep into 2023 right now. It's the sickos who are listening to the show, who follow me, who rock with the stuff that FTN is laying down, that really know what the 2023 class entails. So you've got 2 years to reacquire those picks. Once Swift starts smashing, Dobbins does his thing, there's no way that you'll be able to trade for either one of those guys for a 2023 pick. So give me Swift, give me Dobbins, single quarterback, super flex. Doesn't really matter. I want that side of the deal. Last trade, another DeAndre Swift deal. DeAndre Swift and Deontay Johnson were acquired for the 104 in 2021 and the 201 in 2021. So you got Deontay Johnson, young ascending wide receiver for Pittsburgh, and again, D Swift for the 104. Super flex, the 104 is a little more valuable, right? Because that is, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Najee Harris, Kyle Pitts off the board. That's a Jamar Chase, Najee Harris, potentially Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. That's a quarterback. 201. I mean, you're sitting pretty. Sermon, D Swift, Rashad Bateman, Rondale Moore, Mac Jones, potentially in Superflex. Single quarterback league. That's ETN, that's Williams, that's Pitts. 201. Again, Michael Carter range at that spot. But, I mean, single quarterback, I want Swift and Johnson, hands down. Superflex, it really, truly depends on your team, how set you are at the quarterback position, how firm you are at quarterback, because you need a QB, man. And if you can get a Konami code type quarterback like a Fields or Lance at 104, if you could pull that off to where you're getting a 4,000-yard passer and at floor of 400 to 500 yards rushing, 4 or 5 touchdowns a season on the ground. I mean, that adds to the total fantasy points at the end of the season and your fantasy points total per game. But on a vacuum, just looking at it right here, if all I knew is I had to give up the 104 and I can get Swift and Johnson, then 201's valuable, but still kind of like, I'd probably take Deontay Johnson over who's available at the 201. I think this was a good trade for both sides. If I'm set at quarterback, and even if you're set, here's the thing, right? Even if you're set at quarterback, let's just say, for instance, this team has Kyler Murray and Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott. Say they're just loaded at quarterback. Taking a quarterback, you're still not precluded from taking a quarterback. You just add more firepower to your team, and you probably could trade for a Swift. You could trade for a Dobbins. I'm probably taking Swift and Johnson. I like the 104 and the 201, but I'm probably, gun to my head, taking Deontay Johnson and DeAndre Swift in this deal, but interested to hear what people say and think about this one. So another week of trades in the books. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Appreciate everybody who submitted their trades to be praised or berated. I appreciate the sportsmanship from you all, the support, the love. Make sure you subscribe to In the Lab. Make sure you subscribe to the Ray GQ FTN YouTube channel. Be some changes coming. You're going to start to see more content under the same YouTube channel that you've grown accustomed to. More of our talented video content creators, Derrick Brown, Chris Meany, Steffi Smalls. We've Elliot Chris. We're going to have a lot of people transitioning over here to provide more fantasy daily dynasty content for you all. And your boy ain't going nowhere. Old GQ is going to stay right here, so you're still going to get that gas from me. We appreciate our sock partners, Bigfoot Brother, CrazySocks.com. Make sure you check them out. Grab a pair of crazy-ass socks. And, man, stay tapped in. Make sure you subscribe to In the Lab because that's where this audio version of this show is going to be coming out. But I appreciate you rocking with me today, and I will be back next week for more trades. But y'all know, man, I'm out of this thing. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. Peace.